great gathering of the Jewish youth for a call to the President of the Republic. The international news resumption of post-Brexit trade negotiation on a pessimistic note. Hello, welcome to our newsroom for having the news in details. The Jewish youth met yesterday afternoon throughout the country in 5 regions for a large demonstration calling on the President of the Republic to continue to ensure the conduct of the country's affairs and now announces his candidacy in the upcoming presidential election. The details in the following video with Hidayah.
In the capital as well as in the regions, young people gathered massively under the leadership of civil society. This kind of event has started for 2 months in a scattered way at the district and capital levels. Thus, the youth has united to make its voice heard and has given itself a meeting on Thursday, December 17, 2020, throughout the country. This mobilization aims to put pressure on the head of state to announce his candidacy for the next presidential election scheduled in the next 3 months. It is known that the head of state has made no announcement so far regarding his decision to run again. Through this demonstration, the youth cry out a cry of alarm to the head of state so the doubt that hangs over his candidacy is lifted at the earliest by an announcement. Through this event, the youth, always concerned about their future and especially focused on the great project of the head of state in the fields of hotels, industry, tourism and port logistics with thousands of jobs for young Djiboutians, calls on the head of state to continue his work of national development and thus to complete his various development initiatives. This mass demonstration mobilized nearly 50,000 young people at the Goulet Stadium, to which must be added nearly 25,000 in the chief towns of the regions. Never before in its history has the Goulet Stadium or the interior regions have known such a mobilization. The organizers had to close the doors to many participants due to lack of places in the stands and in the field. A real show of strength by the youth succeeded in making a mark on the spirits. The organizers, rightly proud of their initiative, have indicated that they have been working on it for almost 4 months, including the capital and the regions, during the country's youth associations for a meeting on the same day throughout the country. For the same slogan, the youth is with you, Mr. President, and calls you to complete your work. The youth at the same time appreciates this mandate, declaring that it will be the mandate of the youth. The ball is now in the president's court. This great gathering was also that of the stars of the Djiboutian song, with an atmosphere of the great days that was up to the tax.
Heldani malada yosno ni taisini ya unusole bisopan foha nanu ligenu ni foisam وقعدتنا ni heldani malada yosno ni taisini يا ابن سولي بسبب فوحة ننولي جنو نفوريسام وقعدتنا والحباني أكتا فيتو نبارو هابا والحباني أكتا فيتو نبارو هابا اللي يرو فوق العرق يدقعنا هاي كسعبتو أفكودان كوهاليا أفريكا iyo Asia Europe America kakastaba kolkaan eegnay olol iyo dabba baxaya hadday tale guracato igu didu xaaja garan waydo labada geesood murtida la isku gacansaydo garyaqaan arrimi jiray ayay tala u geystaane isaga korfeeyo dhibti soo gunaanade goblihiyo ciyaaraha ninkii garan ha loo daayo
gacmaha taaga gacmaha taaga
ayunti faydi udi hille kulsin nabbau kudinto abroka mayreda udi hobe wayda aturi agitta asiday fadda abroka mayreda udi hobe wayda aturi agitta asiday fadda.
On Thursday, 17 December 2020, the National Assembly held a meeting of the conference for the President to forward pending bills to the standing committees and to choose the date of the next public sitting in the National Assembly. This Conference of Presidents, conducted in accordance with Article 12 and 21 of the Rules of Procedure by the President of the Assembly, His Excellency Mohamed Ali Hamed, took place with the participation of Prime Minister, His Excellency Abdul Qadir Kamil, members of the Bureau of the Assembly Committee Chairperson, as well as the General Rapporteur of the Budget. At the end of the exchanges, 2 new bills were transferred to the committees, and the public session is scheduled for Thursday, December 24th. As part of African Code Week, the IT Department of Menfob organized a competition titled Africa Code Challenge 2020. This competition, which took place throughout the month of November, brought together more than 20 schools in Djibouti to compete with achievements. The challenge was to program games on this scratched software on the theme Valiant and Programmer Code for the School of Tomorrow. At the end of the competition, the first 5 teams with the best achievement were all from the School of Excellence. In this sense, the School of Excellence hosted the ceremony for the awarding of certificates to the best programmers who had won the competition. The ceremony was attended by the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, His Excellency Mr. Mustafa Mohamed Mahmoud, the General Secretary Mohamed Abdullah Mahayoub, the Director of School of Excellence Rashid Abdullahi, the Technical Advisor Ahmed, and the Computer Director Abdurrahman Abdo. After the presentation of the achievement by the different teams before the delegation, the Minister proceeded to the presentation of the certificates. The Minister congratulated the champions and said he was very pleased with their performance, but encouraged them to keep moving forward and continue to progress. The students expressed their determination to succeed and take up the challenges to make Djibouti even better. Now, on the sidelines of Djibouti FinTech Forum, a ceremony was held to sign a memorandum of understanding between the Managing Director of Djibouti Telecom, Mr. Mohamed Assoubi Bouh, and the Deputy Manager Director of East Africa Bank, Mr. Asad Musa, in the framework of the partnership with D-Money, the company's flagship project. During the ceremony, the Managing Director of Djibouti Telecom was surrounded by his close collaborators, including the head of this new service, Mrs. Hibo Mahmoud, and her team, team. On the East Africa Bank side, the deputy manager was accompanied by the marketing and business development director, Mr. Mohamed Tahir, and the operations director, Mr. Abdulaziz Mohamed Farah. The match number 6, counting for the CAN 2021 qualifiers between the under-17 of Djibouti and the under-17 of Tanzania, ends on the final score of 1 goal everywhere. The under-17 national selection qualifies for the semi-final of the CECAFA 2020 Rwanda tournament, a first in history of the national football, which is a deserved victory for our young Sharks determined to make their dreams come true and to win the best place in this Rwanda tournament 2020. It should be noted that this under-17 team selection are young players from the FDF Youth Footballers Development Program, programmed and supervised by experienced distribution coach, all former national footballers, and this by the total confidence and vision of the current the Federation President, Suleiman Hassan Alberi, who is the builder of this first major ambitious program. Moving on to international news, as I mentioned on the title, the post-Brexit trade negotiations are resuming, and in the opinion of the President of the European Commission, it will be very difficult to bridge the differences between London and the European Union. The tone was set because although he said it was possible to reach an agreement today, European negotiator Michael Barnier also said it will be difficult as the compromise on access for the European fishermen to British waters seems to be blocked. In London, it has already been warned that failure was very likely because of the short time remaining of the European Union's position does not change. The government consider the European position on fisheries reasonable without a trade agreement. Trade between the European Union and London will be conducted under World Trade Organization rules alone, synonymous with tariffs or quotas with serious consequences for economies already shaken by the COVID-19 pandemic. Faced with uncertainty of the negotiation, the European states have prepared emergency measures to maintain air traffic and road transport for 6 months with the United Kingdom. Subject of reciprocity, the European Parliament has already approved on Thursday temporary measures to maintain traffic in the Channel Tunnel between France and England. This is it for this edition of 9 p.m. Thank you for watching us and have a wonderful evening.
Marie l'Automotive, fournisseur exclusif de Toyota à Djibouti depuis 1970. 50 ans de performance et de savoir pour un service de qualité. Des commerciaux à votre écoute. Un service après-vente unique à Djibouti. La réparation et l'entretien de votre véhicule auprès de techniciens certifiés.